Hi everyone, it's my first video for this channel, and I hope it's gonna help someone and that it resonates with somebody. But my first topic I wanted to talk about is how I shifted my mindset to feel better about myself and to change how I see my world, and also to change the relationships around me. So we come across I've read a lot of books, and we come across a lot of quotes about how our thoughts become things, and what you put out there into the world you get back. To be careful what we say, that our words are spells, things like that, right? And I was repeating all these things, but still, even with repeating all that and trying to keep a positive mindset, it was more or less like a surface level thing for me, because even though I'm saying all these things, I didn't know how to apply them in my life, right? So I think the biggest push for me was when a relationship of mine that I really treasured ended, and it ended so abruptly that I couldn't believe it, and I was hurt. I really wanted to make it work. I wanted to get them back and try to change so much so that I can win this person's back into my life, right? But what ended up happening, the whole journey pushed me in a different direction. So as I was venting to one of my friends about the whole thing, like I was so upset. I'm like, I don't understand why he doesn't want to talk to me, and I'm such a nice person. He says I'm a nice person, I'm an awesome girlfriend. He says all these nice things, but then he doesn't want to be with me. So what is it about me? Like, what is so bad like that he doesn't want to be with me? He says I'm great, I tick all the boxes. So what's the problem, right? Like, what is the deal here? What's going on? And my friend is like, you know what, my friend, like, you need to not talk like that. Don't be complaining when you're talking. Don't say negative stuff. Don't post how you're feeling about it on Facebook. That's not healthy. Or on social media, don't be posting like, oh, he's a horrible person, or all that stuff. I know you feel horrible right now, but that's not the way to do it, right? So I'm like, okay, I wasn't planning on doing that, but okay. But you know how it is, when you're in the moment, you may just say something or post something because you're upset, right? And then the next thing you know, it gets out of hand. So anyways, what happened then? So I was really trying to find a way to win this person back. So I wanted to work on myself, but for the wrong reasons. It was, so I went on YouTube. I'm like, okay, I'm reading all this, I'm following all these gurus, relationship gurus, talking about what are healthy relationships and how to attract good relationships, and why it is that you're not attracting great relationships. And here I am. I'm actually someone that works with people that are going through changes, that are going through rejection, or experience trauma and abuse, and are trying to get away and start afresh. And most times people are in their feelings, and they're hurt, and they're still longing for that person, even though it's an abusive situation. You don't realize that you're in an abusive situation, and there's reasons why that is sometimes. And so I thought about it. I sat down and I'm like, okay, I really have been settling. I've been settling for a lot of things, whereas I know I deserve more, but I just kind of settle because that's what's there available for me. And I need to change that because I know I deserve better. I know I know my potential, I know what I'm capable of, and I need to figure out why, even though I have all these ideas, why am I not, in the space that I want to be? Where am I not in the space that I should be, right? I've read books like The Secret, the movie, but most of these books, what they do, they don't seem to actually give you the instructions on how to go about changing or shifting your mindset such that you create a better life for yourself, right? I know a lot of people will agree with me when I say that. Like, there is not very much that those books give. They do give you kind of like a tidbit of what it looks like, what the secret actually is, your thoughts, changing your thoughts, being positive. We'll sing about it, talk about it, whatever it is. But now to apply it in such a way that you actually are changing your mindset, that's a different story. Why would I want to change my mindset anyway? Most times we don't see anything wrong with the way we are, right? Unless someone else points it out. And it actually takes a great deal of humility. You have to humble yourself, and when you come to the realization that you've been settling, you have so much potential, now what? Your potential is nothing if you don't do anything with it, right? So what's the next thing to do? Is to sit down, be honest with myself, take stock of why I'm where I am and why I'm not progressing, right? Why I'm not finding the person that I want to be with, or why they're not finding me, and so forth, right? So what was the first thing that I did? Because I was upset, I was hurt, I went through all those, I was going through, and then I came across self-concept. Someone was talking about self-concept. I don't remember. It's one of the YouTube channels, and they were talking about how your self-concept is more important in order for you to attract better. So I was now saying to myself, okay, I've lost this person, so what's the best way to do this? I need to attract someone in my life that is what I want, that ticks all my boxes and so forth, and someone that shows up for me the way I want them to show up for me. And with that said, I stumbled upon the fact that it's really not even about the other person, it's about me. I needed to deal with my past traumas, and any events and any relationships from my past, friendships from my past that had damaged my self-esteem somehow along the line. I needed to regain my self-confidence and also understand what self-concept was and regain that back. So in other words, I needed to reclaim my power back. So the first thing I did was, as I was listening to all this, there was one point that they made, that you need to reclaim your power back from everyone and anyone that might be holding on to your energy, right? And what that means is, when you're in relationships, you share so much, you give so much of yourself to the other person, sometimes so much more than what you're giving to yourself, and which is not good for you, it's to the detriment of you. So you need to get that back, pull it back to yourself, so that all that attention that I was giving to this person, trying to win them back, checking on them and all that, I needed to do more for myself than I needed to pursue this person. And also, with that said, it's not something that I enjoyed or wanted to be. I don't want to be pursuing any guy. I mean, I'm not an ugly girl. I know I'm a great person, so I should be pursued. That's the way I look at it, point blank, period. And this is not even being arrogant or thinking that I'm, whatever, but yeah, I am. I do have a lot to bring to the table. So of course, yes, I should be pursued because I have a lot to offer. And so I soon came to learn that I needed to confront my childhood, where it all went awry, right? So where did I start losing confidence, and where exactly did I start allowing myself to define myself by how other people felt about me, right? Because when we're growing up, there's so much programming in life, right? From when you're a child, our environment, the culture that we grow up in, we are programmed in a certain way to behave a certain way. And the information we absorb from relatives of how you should behave, how you should be, we take that on because we want to be respectful kids. We want to, we want to do the right thing in front of our families and all that, right? And so recognizing that, of course, when you come into this world, you are loved, you are adored. I said, I want that feeling of being cared for, like being protected. If anything, if I come home crying, people want to know who made me cry. You know what I mean? If I'm upset about something, people would want to make things better for me, right? If I wanted ice cream and it was reasonable to give me ice cream, I would get it. If I asked for anything, literally, my uncles, my family, they would provide certain things, right? And also I would kind of see like where there was limitations and things like that. However, but as a kid, when you ask for something, you have faith that you'll get it. You have confidence that you're going to get what you're asking for most of the times. And most of the times you do get what you want, even though it might not be it might be a scarce commodity or it might be a scarce thing there, but they'll make sure they go out of their way to make you happy as a kid, right? You have all this before you go to school, you are blank slate, you're innocent, you're loving, you're just a sweet kid, right? Before you start going to school. I'm not saying that's where it all starts, but like when you go to school, you get to interact with other kids from other families, from other backgrounds, right? And they have their own ideas. Your teachers have their own ideas. You make friends and your friends have their own ideas. And sometimes they project their ideas onto you. And you're a kid. You get influenced by some things that maybe your friends say. Maybe your friends have a TV. You don't have a TV at your house. You want to fit in. You start, wanting to fit in, and just you feel inadequate in certain things because you of the way how the society at the time is projecting onto you. And so that's how we start getting influenced or how our programming starts in life, right? So from the age of 6, 7, right through primary school, now you have to thrive to do well in school. What happens there? There is a lot of encouragement, but there's also a lot of competition. Teachers sometimes will say, oh, you're capable, you can beat so and so. So we're almost like pitted against each other to compete with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't get the prize this year, if you're not number 1 in the class, you need to be in top 3 of the class, top 4, top 5. Otherwise, you're not doing so great, right? And so they started that competitive spirit that was instilled or programmed into you. Now you're competing with your peers. And through that competition, you sort of, it starts being a part of you. Now you have to compete next year. Yes, I know this year I was number 3. Next year I want to be number 1. But we don't think about how number 26 feels, you know. They're doing their best as well. Well, most times, right? Nobody wants to be last, and that's the thing. That's that programming. Where now we're programmed to compete against each other, whether it's sports. Oh, this one runs faster than the other, and it's embarrassing if you can't play netball. If you don't make the team, you cry because you kind of like feel left out. People are going out or going to sporting trips, and you're not. You're stuck at home at the hostel. For people like me that went to boarding school, people have gone on trips and you miss out. Like, you're missing out because you don't know how to you don't know how to play a sport, so you miss out. However, it's not at that point you forget that, oh, maybe I'm better at academics than I am at sports, so I should be okay with that, right? So it was never really like that. And then influences of relatives, culture, parents. Our parents want the best for us. Believe me when I say that. They want the best for us. They want you to do well. But sometimes it can be at the detriment of you, because they might be encouraging you, pushing you towards maybe law school, or pushing you to do to go for a medical profession, and you just want to play guitar and you're good at it, right? Or you want to make clothes. You've been making doll clothes since you were little, and that's what you want to do, and that's what excites you. But there's this thing you need to do well. You need to do better than the next person. It was never about doing better than yourself or like improving on yourself. It was more like competing with outside forces. So while parental and family influences are great, sometimes they tended to be a little bit pushing us away from reclaiming our own essence and our own selves. And so I'm saying all this because it's just going to show how much of a build up of programming it is from when we're little until we're of adult age, and we now have to start making life decisions on our own. So all the influences of us growing up and all that programming are a part of how we decide how we're going to live our lives, right? And so changing your mindset or shifting your mindset after having been programmed so much from childhood, from relationships that didn't work out, that took away from you rather than gave to you, it's not something that would happen overnight. So how then do you reclaim your essence, and how then do you change how you think if you've been thinking a certain way for so long? It's gradual. It doesn't happen overnight. So for me, I came across a method of self-healing called Hoppopanon. It's a ancient Hawaiian method of self-healing. Now, so Hoppopanon, for me, I stumbled upon it as I was going through my YouTube searches and all that, and I felt I needed something that I could help heal myself and not have to rely on a counselor or a friend to talk to, because that's another trauma when you talk to friends and then the next thing you know, the thing you talked about is not confidential and it's now all over the community, and they know your deepest challenges, right? So for me, it wasn't a thing. I wanted to heal myself and not have to deal with anybody else, not have to confront anybody else about what they did to me, or have to bring up old stories, even though those things were a part of me that hurt me, and I dealt with them differently. However, I didn't heal from them. So I needed to find a way to heal from all those things without bringing them back up, or without calling up someone and saying, hey, remember what happened this time? Let's hash it out. No, I was going to heal myself first. I know that sounds almost like, okay, like weird, but I needed to do that for myself, not for anybody else. So Hoppopanon, it teaches you that you can heal yourself, your emotions, by this method. And basically what it entails is taking responsibility for everything in your life from whenever up to now. You take responsibility. Even if it was outside forces, you somehow had a part in being available for that situation to take place. So essentially, it involves confessing to yourself, repenting, and reconciling with yourself. This, before you involve anybody else, this is all something to do with yourself, right? So the first thing you need to do is seek forgiveness for yourself. So what I would do every morning is, in the mirror, I would say to myself, I'm sorry, Zinzi, I forgive you. I forgive you, Zinzi, I'm sorry. Thank you for being you. Thank you for taking care of you, or taking care of me up to now. And I love you. So I'm sorry. Then you forgive yourself. And then I forgive you. Thank you. And I love you. I did this for 30 days. Why 30 days? So it's actually more than that, because when you want to change something, or when you change a habit, it usually takes about 21 days for that change to take place or to take effect. And for me, I feel like, because I was dealing with having to forgive people from when I was 5 up until now, all those people that I needed to forgive without actually approaching them, it took longer, and it will take longer than just 21 days. It took me months and months of me repeating that. And also, not just that, I would play affirmations, the ones that you go to sleep listening to, and those helped me so much as well, because they reminded me of who I was. There is the Queen affirmations. I am a queen. I am amazing. Anything I put my heart into, it succeeds. Anything that I try goes well. Like, I was affirming every day. I was affirming how I'm going to attract amazing people in my life. I was affirming that my relationships will improve, whether it's personal, family, work relationships, or even just my romantic relationships. I was affirming that any new relationship that I get into would be fulfilling for me, and that they would be healthy, and they would be choosing me. Because a lot of times when you go through rejection, you don't feel chosen, right? So I was affirming that I wanted to be chosen. I was affirming that I am a queen. I'm affirming all these amazing things about myself that I know myself to be. But because of everything else that has happened, I forgot those things. Forgot that I, grew up with love around me. And as we are growing through all that programming, we are programmed to sort of become fearful and doubtful, just because rejection and disappointments can cause you to become jaded in how you think. So confronting those as well, understanding that fear is false evidence appearing real, understanding that doubt is not a part of me. I needed to go back to love, go back to loving myself, go back to that love that I once knew, that was, pure from my childhood, right? That love that had protection for me, that I felt protected, I felt loved, I felt sheltered, and all that. So for me to feel that feeling of being protected, I needed to believe it. And with the affirmations, I would affirm in such a way that it's happening this minute. So it's not like something that I'm affirming for the future. I'm affirming it for now, even though at that moment I'm not feeling that it's happening at that moment, but I was trying to summon those feelings so that, when I'm affirming, I'm feeling them and letting my subconscious know what it is that I want to feel, right? By affirming and repeating the affirmations. I put up a list of affirmations that I framed and put in my bathroom. So every time I'm brushing my teeth, I see the affirmations. Great affirmations. Anyone that goes in my bathroom can see the affirmations and use them as well if they so please. And that's a way of reclaiming my essence back, or reclaiming my power. So reclaiming your power also involves claiming that power back from everyone that you've come across in life, that you've given to and they're not received back. So you're pulling that back to yourself. So you're pouring that love back into yourself, and when you do that, you then are able to rebuild your self-confidence and self-concept using both affirmations, meditations, whatever good, feel-good type of words you tell yourself. Like we said earlier, words are like spells, right? So you tell yourself good things, right? Your self-talk becomes more of positive self-talk. And when I talk about positivity, I don't mean that toxic positivity, where it's like you're not confronting when you're feeling bad. You do still have times where you feel bad, but then you tell yourself, or you push yourself to move out of that quickly. You don't stay in that negative situation or that negative feeling. You try to pull yourself back out of that. You try to remind yourself to think, to see the good in life, right? It doesn't mean that if you want to cry, you don't cry. You still do those things. You still feel your emotions, but then you let them go. It's learning how to let go of the pain, learning how to let go of those energies that try to keep you vibing low. Another thing too, in my culture, there is something called Isdemo or Istakazelo, which is, to me, I can describe that as affirmations, because it's clan names that are praise names for that clan. So if you belong to a certain clan, there's praise names that come with your name, right? From your ancestors, from your relatives. Everyone shares those clan names, and they are like a words of praise. So you gotta praise yourself. So this is a cultural thing, that praising yourself is a good thing. You uplift yourself, and when you say things and out loud, they become, right? And so with that said, just knowing who you are and finding yourself also allows you to be able to, while you're claiming your essence back from everybody else, it also allows you to put boundaries. You put boundaries, healthy boundaries, so that if someone else is coming to you, towards you with very heavy, draining, low vibing energy, you're able to put a boundary and say, no, this is not for me, back away. Even if you're extending them grace and saying, oh, I understand that you're going through all this, but for me right now, please, I am dealing with this right now. Can I please not be a part of your whatever is going on? Can you come when you're better? Or, but that doesn't mean that you're brushing them off. I'm not saying that if someone comes to you and they're sad or upset or whatever, you don't give them comfort. You still give them grace, still give them comfort, but also understand where to put a boundary. Also, so that you don't absorb other people's negative feelings, or if someone comes towards you with aggression, you're able to stop them in their tracks and say, no, I'm not dealing with that right now. So if you don't mind, I am taking a step away. Or even you don't even have to say anything. You just find yourself taking a step back. But also at the same time, if you're affirming, you'll find that most times people don't really approach you with that aggression behavior towards you. You sort of they check themselves with you because you're exuding a different kind of energy, so they tend to back away and not approach you with that kind of energy. But also when you show yourself to not be entertaining that kind of energy, it's because you know yourself now, so you can stand your ground and say, no, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not going to take this from you, so therefore keep that over there with you, right? And I find that's been helpful for me, and it's made me grow and be able to stand up for myself. You gotta know that you're meant for so much more, and so forth. So, and also another thing that you should be mindful of when you're going through your 30-day mindset shift, or when you're working on changing how you think, just remember that your subconscious is probably going to fight you. Your subconscious is going to fight you. What do I mean by that? Well, when you sleep, you might have bad dreams about, it's just bad dreams, or you just unsettled because your subconscious is fighting to keep that old you, the old way of thinking, and so you will have that battle. And so what you have to do is keep persisting, keep going. Even if like you're doing the sleep affirmations and you find you're having nightmares, wake up, give yourself a break, couple of days if you must, but start up again and do the affirmations. You really gotta persist in order for you to achieve the goal that you want. Sometimes you might not feel like it, but it's really just you playing a bit of music in the background, or playing the affirmations in the background. You don't have to do much. You just play them in the background, let them play. During the day too, while you work, you can have them playing, or you can also just play a few minutes at a time, like 20 minutes, and let it go about your business, right? Because at the end of the day, you deserve more. You want that change. You want to push through even the days when you don't feel like it. Another part of changing your mindset is also being conscious of what you take in, what you eat, and what you consume, whether it's social media, and especially social media. I had to start a social media dieting, and this meant that people that are fighting on live, as entertaining as it is, if they are fighting and cursing each other out on live social media, I didn't need to be a part of that. I started seeking out constructive content, because you find that if you are absorbing the fighting or the train wrecks, guess what's going to happen to your life? It's going to mimic what you're absorbing. It's going to mimic everything you're taking in. They say you are what you eat, right? And it's not just about food. It's about what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, and so forth. So I really got to a point where I said, okay, I need to diet, even my social media. I need to make sure that what I'm consuming, I need to unfollow certain people. I need to tell people my boundaries and say, listen, please don't send me videos about people fighting each other. I don't need to know. It's none of my business. I wasn't there, so therefore please don't send them to me. Just curiosity is there, but then you just take a step back and say, how is this serving me, right? And I find that helped me a lot to also streamline the type of content that I take in, and healthier content, of course, is better. So anyway, this was supposed to be a really short video, but I seem to have gone a lot over a lot of things. But what I want you all to understand is that when you are deciding to shift your mindset, you need to go to a place in your mind and in your heart where you felt happy. And if you want to achieve that feeling of happiness again, try to find affirmations that will bring that feeling back, and make those affirmations a part of you, and you'll start to see your life start to conform to your affirmations, to what you're affirming. I'll give you an example of the one time I was affirming the queen affirmations. I am a queen, I am wanted, I am chosen, I'm amazing, everyone I come across enjoys my company, anything I do. Okay guys, sorry about that, my battery died. I didn't even notice that I needed to charge it. But anyways, my closing remarks is basically your mindset is your responsibility. So whatever you think you are, that's what you will be. So basically you must take yourself seriously, and realize that you are in control, you are a creator, you're the one that can create your life, as it were. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share today, and hopefully next time I can share something else. So if you don't mind, just like, share, and comment. Please also comment below any topic you'd like me to discuss. I'll be happy to do so. Anyone that wants to add anything to what I've said, feel free to share your thoughts about the video. And like I said, this was just my first video where on this channel where I didn't really plan on doing it. Well, I've been planning to do it, but I just did it. I thought I'll just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And here we are. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time on my channel. Thanks. Bye.